because he was a top player on the tour. He's really good looking. His wife's a social media darling. He knows how to work the social media scene himself. We saw that when he was going back and forth with Bryson. So I think he's going to be received okay by fellow players and fans. But I think the pressure is really on the play and whether he can now dive right into the tour off this exhibition golf in shorts that he's been playing. And I'm putting the pressure on him.
Is Patrick Reed back too?
Yeah, but he can't come back right away.
He's got to wait a little minute?
Yeah, his re-entry program
I got you.
is a little different, I believe, on the timing of it.
Second candidate for me, AR, is a man that was born on September 23rd, 1989, down there in Florida. Went to college at Air Force and William and Mary, played wide receiver in college. This is now the new head coach of the Buffalo Bills and Joe Brady. The more I've thought about this and looking at the new hires around the NFL, the more and more I'm like, this dude is stepping into a world of real heat up there in Buffalo. Josh Allen went to bat for him. What happened?
Sorry, buddy.
What happened?
Because did you just say fantasy GM and real GM are similar? I feel like this is part of how GMs think. I think this way in fantasy. I imagine in reality it works somewhat similar. I did.
I love my little laugh at the end there, too.
I did, with a semi-laugh. That's funny.
No, I'm going Joe Brady, AR. I'm going Joe Brady. It just sounds like all the reporting up there coming out of the building is that Josh Allen was banging the table for this guy. And so he's never been a head coach before. He's been kind of
It's a good one.
Yeah, I just think,
Josh should carry most of the pressure, but you're right.
He is, because when you have a certain level of success as a fan base, the team's going to point the finger at him if it goes wrong. They're not going to point the finger at Josh because that is their beloved son up there. And so he's got to go, and he's got to go now. Some of these other head coaches are going to have a little bit of time because the bar isn't as high as where it is up there in Buffalo. So I'm going Joe Brady.
I don't know if I can put any more pressure on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That they already don't know. I don't know what I can do here. They're losing ground by the second in the East. I know they lost Mitch Marner. That's a 102-point guy who goes to Vegas. But I thought they were going to be a playoff team regardless. You have superstars in Matthews and Nylander. Injuries along the way. I'm going to factor those in. But this team is brutal. They don't even have games in hand over anybody, I don't think. And there are two teams ahead of them before you even get to the playoff cut line. Mm-hmm. They've now lost, I believe, 8 of 9. And, Nylander's shooting the bird to the broadcast cameras, and the coach got
is he really
zinged with a horrible injury and a gym accident. They have to be feeling just they can't get out of their own way. So, ironically, the Toronto Maple Leafs have the same amount of points as our Blue Jackets, but it just seems to be the exact opposite feel as the Jackets have won 6 of 7, and I think the Leafs have lost 7 of 8 or 8 of 9. So I'm putting it on them.
All right, last candidate for me. 2 freshmen in the world of college basketball getting after it tomorrow. BYU goes into Kansas tomorrow. 4:30 tip. AJ DeBanza and Mr. Darren Peterson. This guy is special.
I like them.
He's an absolute. I think both these guys are going to be really good players in the league. But this is one of those situations to where you want to get after the guy and have a better game than the guy that could be the number 1 pick. So I think these type of games have a lot of sway, right? Where GMs and scouts are going to have a lot of eyeballs on these two. So Darren Peterson, AJ DeBanza tomorrow to put on a show, because a lot of people are going to be seeing what these guys are made of out there on the floor and how they can match up against each other. So, a couple freshmen that are absolute stars in the making. I'm putting them on the pressure list for tomorrow.
All right, since TLC didn't allow me to have music for the third, I'll just try to fill it myself.
And cut.
I'm going to go with, now he's playing some sort of commercials over there. I'm going to go with the Miami Redhawks.
Oh,
they're 10 wins away from an unbeaten regular season. And I'm not saying that that's their ultimate goal, but when you're 10 wins away from going 31-0, now more importantly, Big Dan's got to win a game. You can't have a season like this and get in and not win. And so over the past 3 Big Dances, 10 teams outside the 5 high major conferences that were also double-digit seeds won at least 1 game.
Yeah.
And that's what I think they're going to be. I would think they're projected now is about an 11, even though they are 21-0. And they make threes. They are
buckets.
They're winning close games. They're buckets. Being tested. Yeah. And I think the pressure, like I said, the pressure isn't to go 31-0, but when they get in, you can't have that season and then lose their first.
It's a good call.
So I'm going to put it on them now. to start building that.
Okay, because their strength of schedule, I have to imagine they isn't great. Like as far as true wins that are going to hold a lot of weight with the conference that they're playing in.
21-0, and they're an 11 seed. That should tell you
everything.
Yeah. All right, those are your pressure cookers for this weekend. All right, we're going to come back with our friend Sam Bruckhouse, Sumer Sports football analyst. Get his opinion on the draft and a lot more. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
It's 2026, the year you achieve your health goals. The Good Feet store wants to help. Trade in your bad feet for good feet. We want to help you walk, run, exercise, and play in comfort this year. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Don't start the new year with the same old ride. Right now, score low lease payments on all 2026 models, like $149 a month for a brand new Elantra or $159 for a new Sonata. Hurry in and kick off the new year right. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit $39.95 down plus tax, title, and fees. 2-year lease with 10K miles per year. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Ends 2-2.
Rodeo fans, saddle up for the Cinch World's Toughest Rodeo. Presented by RM43, February 7th at Nationwide Arena. Come early for autographs, pony rides, and more. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. The buck starts here at the Cinch World's Toughest Rodeo.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best teams don't always win titles. Sounds like AR and Maddie bragging about their fantasy teams.
Hey, that's cheating.
This is Rothman and Ice.
No doubt about it. Sam Bruckhouse will be joining us in moments once TLC connects with him as we get into kind of some Senior Bowl and mocking up the guys there. That is tomorrow, right?
I am 99.9% sure, yet you are correct, that the Senior Bowl is tomorrow down there in Alabama.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I've got Saturday, January 31st at 1:30 p.m., Hancock Whitney Stadium.
I guess Luke Altmaier from Illinois was showing the poise and accuracy.
Oh, okay.
Scouts enjoy.
I think Sam was there, and we got to ask him about Luke, and I think you know who was there too, Mr. Pavia. I think Diego Pavia was in the building for the Senior Bowl.
That's a guy who's going to have to really wow people and get over how he was at the Heisman and after that, because I think he's going to have to win a lot of GMs over.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't normally anyway, based on, his size.
Correct.
All right, Sam is with us now, courtesy of the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fangist Hotline. Thanks a lot, Sam. How you been?
Hey, fellas, I've been fantastic. This is one of the most exciting points of the year. We got college basketball, we got pro basketball, we got some of the best football in the playoffs, and we got the optimism of the draft. So I'm excited for the next couple weeks. And, the Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl was great, hoping for a good Super Bowl as well.
Let me ask you this. As long as you mentioned the Super Bowl, I'll start with this. What has surprised you more, Sam Darnold's resurgence or Drake May being in a Super Bowl this early?
I have been surprised, particularly in the Rams game, with the Seahawks offense. The dirty little secret about the Seahawks this year is that they have been basically buoyed by their incredible defense, but their special teams has basically functioned as an offense with regards to both the kickoff and also with kickoff return and punt returns. That trade for Rashid Shaheed is one of the few trades that has basically worked out for both teams. And as a result, they've been killing teams and special teams, and that's frankly why they end up winning the game against the Rams. But the dirty little secret of the Seahawks was that their offense down the stretch was quite paltry, well below average. Sam Darnold on the year ends up the 15th best quarterback in terms of expected points added per play, very similar to his Vikings total. And then at the end of the day, I just didn't know if they were going to be able to produce against a team like the Rams. And they were able to do it. And moreover, they were able to do it by breaking tendencies. This team all year was a team that wanted to trot out heavy personnels and run the ball despite being one of the worst rushing offenses in the league. Against the Rams, they finally opened it up. We saw really for the first time in his career, Clint Kubiak began calling passes at a higher rate than expected in the data. And I was really surprised about how Sam Darnold met the moment. So I have to say I am more surprised by Sam Darnold than Drake May.
Let's stay here in the NFL and get your thoughts on what the Cleveland Browns have done, bringing in Todd Monken. And there's some uncertainty right now as far as what's going to happen with Jim Schwartz and whether or not he even wants to be there in Cleveland as their defensive coordinator. But, Sam, hit us with your thoughts on Todd Monken and this fit in Cleveland.
Yeah, I think if you look at what Todd Monken was able to do with the Baltimore Ravens, first off, he was able to unlock Lamar Jackson. Unfortunately, I do not believe that the Cleveland Browns had a talent like Lamar Jackson in the quarterback room right now, but that means that in the next 2-3 years as the head coach, they are able to get a high-level talented, particularly a more mobile quarterback in the room to compete with Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel and potentially Deshaun Watson if he ends up being healthy, that could make a big difference, particularly in the passing game. But what he showed this year in particular is what I think that Andrew Berry is very interested in. With Lamar out and with Lamar quite hurt, it showed up in our data with regards to his athleticism. We saw his 40-yard dash and various other combine testing predictions in our tracking data decline for Lamar Jackson. He was able to put together the second-best rushing offense in the league, despite having a hobbled Lamar and an offensive line that had some injuries and some regression, and yet they were still able to build up a good rushing offense. I think you look at this Browns team, you have talented running backs, you have talented tight ends, and I think that they took a glance across the spectrum, said, we know we want a top play caller as our head coach. Todd Monken has been that over the past 2 years. And in particular, he's going to use 12 personnel, Fannin and Njoku, to spring Quinshad Judkins and some of those other running backs. I think that was the evaluation. And frankly, I don't really have too many qualms about it. I think it's a pretty good decision. Don't know what's going on with Jim Schwartz. I think that was kind of unexpected that he would leave as a result of the decision. I don't really know what the internal evaluation is, but I think when you have Myles Garrett, it's easy to be a defensive coordinator. So I think regardless of if Schwartz stays, as long as Garrett is happy, that defense should still be good.
Talking to our friend Sam Bruckhouse, Sumer Sports, here on the Brian Heaton Coin Systems Fangast Hotline. Let me get your opinion on Arch Manning and how he finished the season. It's fairly strong. And, you know, he's got a new weapon in the kid from Auburn who transferred in the backfield, got some transfers. Ohio State goes there in week 2. Where were you on him last year before this finish? He got labeled a bust really early. I thought that was a real knee-jerk reaction. But how far does Arch Manning have to go for you this year for you to be convinced that he is going to be what some people thought he would be?
So let's set the scene here. At the beginning of the season, Arch Manning is number 1 on what we call the consensus big board. And what that does is look at The Athletic and look at ESPN and look at every sports section and congeal all of these opinions into one. The idea is that the consensus big board is similar to Wikipedia. If the wisdom of the crowds comes together, it generally is more right than any one person. That's basically what we're trying to do. And they evaluated Arch Manning, who had really never played, detailed snaps at quarterback over the course of a season, to be the best player in the draft. Now, I think injuries came into it, but like you said, they labeled him a bust. But at the end of the day, a lot of times those preseason consensus big board ratings do tend to be sticky. You think of guys in the NFL like James Pierce. You think of guys this year like Luther Burden. They were rated very high on the consensus big board, dropped for one reason or another, and ended up having very good seasons. So I was always of the opinion that he would progress positive regression back up to his talent level. And to everyone who says that Arch Manning isn't necessarily a 5-star recruit, if he doesn't have the last name Manning, how many 6'5", 225-pound rushing quarterbacks that can run about a 4.6, 4.7 are there out there? There's maybe 5 to 6 each recruiting class. And so as a result, I still believed in him. And I think, frankly, if he would have come out this year, he would have been testing Fernando Mendoza as the number 1 pick. I think next year he's going to develop a lot. I would expect him to be the number 1 pick next year.
So I know Dan Lanning and the Oregon fan base is very happy with the decision Dante Moore made. But, Sam, when you look at his game right now, what could have been in play for him as far as how high he could have gone in the draft, did you agree with his decision to run it back out there in Eugene?
So let's just look at the data and what our scouts at Sumer Sports say. In the data, he's just a quality, he's probably an 80th to 90th percentile player. He's kind of a B plus in a lot of statistics, but he's a B plus in everything. So when you put all of that together, he's a very, very good prospect. Our scouts added the context that his technique and his ability to distribute the ball kind of seemed a little bit juvenile as compared to some of the other quarterbacks. I think as a result, he sat down with his agent, sat down with Dan Lanning, and made a decision that he just simply wasn't ready yet. And as a result, I am interested of probably when his agent called around. In the consensus, they believe that he was the second quarterback and as a result would probably be picked in the top 10 picks. I wonder if the league didn't have a similar opinion as Sumer Sports on this one where, maybe he kind of falls down, goes in the second or the third round, has a better chance to be the number 1 pick and make that big money up front. Add in a giant NIL sum from Phil Knight and the Oregon Collective. And so I think he did make the right decision in coming back. It will be very interesting, though, because he will be tested. Dylan Raiola is coming in from Nebraska to Oregon. He will have a competition. So high risk, high reward for sure. But the reward should be great if he is able to develop.
We do a segment right before we brought you on called Pressure Cooker. And the one guy that I was thinking about putting in there was Josh Hoover, and not because he's not talented, just because of what Indiana pulled off this year, and now can they hit the daily double? The roster saw a significant turnover after the title, but Cignetti is reloaded in the portal. And give me your take on this kid that's thrown for more than 9,000 yards, replacing Fernando Mendoza. How good is he?
Yeah, so there's signal in the fact that he's still in college, right? So I don't know if he's an absolute premium prospect. And even Mendoza really was substantially younger than Josh Hoover when it really came down to it. And he just transferred up to a better program in his I think it was his redshirt junior or senior. Nowadays it's difficult to tell with the redshirt rules. But basically his third or fourth year ends up at Indiana. Hoover obviously is not going to be like that. This is a guy who's played a lot of football and gotten a lot of starts. And so I do think that ability to kind of handle the stresses of college football will help him in a Curt Cignetti offense, which is designed to win down by down. So I do think that he will perform well. That being said, all of us remember when Florida State put together probably what I think is one of the best rosters of all time, with Jordan Travis at quarterback, Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, both who have challenged for Pro Bowl bids in their first 2 years of the Rams at the defensive line position, multiple offensive linemen, wide receivers that are in the NFL, including Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson, like literally talent at every single position. They try to turn that over. Most of those guys were transfers with a similar strategy, and it just doesn't work out. So I do think there is risk in any transfer portal strategy, particularly as it pertains to the quarterback position. However, when you do have a level of snaps, you can kind of figure out what you got with Josh Hoover. And so I do think the Indiana train will continue. Does that mean an undefeated season? Does it even mean a Big Ten victory? I don't necessarily think so.
My man, great stuff as always. Sam Bruckhouse, Sumer Sports, all the insights. They've got more than 500 years of NFL expertise, and they're doing it weekly. Thanks, my man. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you hopefully before the Super Bowl.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Sam was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, when we come back, Buckeye Bulletin, and get your calendar out or your phone. The spring game for Ohio State has been set. We'll tell you when. And when tickets will go on sale as well. That's next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Tri-State Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Tri-State Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, so you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spreads, totals, or player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet just $5. It's the only betting app I use. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like chew this gum and it grows new teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
Maybe it was a family vacation or a school field trip. But there you were, standing in awe at a national park. We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free from windownation.com.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. Getting out the calendar.
All right, I'm ready.
Get that phone calendar out.
I'm ready. What we got?
And I'm sliding over to April.
Okay.
And I'm sliding over to the 3rd Saturday in April.
Okay.
And I'm typing in...
I have to work that day.
Ohio State spring game, Maddie works. April 18th.
Okay.
Is the day?
Yeah, I don't usually have to work that, but you do, usually. Right?
Yeah, but we're going to share the wealth this year.
Hey, if you need me, I'll be there. over the phone.
Tickets for this year's spring game go on sale Friday, February 20th at 10 a.m.
Got a price on those things, Big
No,
Dog?
I don't.
Okay. Probably about $5-10 maybe.
I think there was some tiered pricing in the
Okay.
spring game, was there not? If you wanted to sit down real low behind the squad, I thought there was a little bit of an upgrade.
That wouldn't surprise me in the NIL era, right? You know what I mean?
You're not getting in with Chef Boyardee.
Those are the good old days. A can of SpaghettiOs. You know what I mean? Can't bring those in. But yes, this is we know what the spring game is. For the most part, it is a glorified scrimmage. However, you will get a chance to look at some new faces, right? Like especially the transfers. But I know a lot of people are going to be excited to see Chris Henry Jr. And what that's going to look like right out of the gate, because it definitely seems like he's going to be a dude that needs to be ready to go right away. And so that wide receiver room, man, it's going to be a fun watch. You know what you're getting from 4. That dude's automatic. He's going to be locked in to try to get the Biletnikoff this year since he hasn't, I thought he should have got it this year, but that's good for him. He's going to get to chase that carrot, if you will. So his hunger and desire is always there, but now there's added motivation. But also, this year, what are they going to get from Brandon Ennis, man? Brandon Ennis now, he is one of the vets of this team. And so he is going to be called upon to deliver at a high level. And so that's just, can't wait to see Julian spinning again, AR, over there at the shoe. But collectively, outside of Jeremiah Smith, how comfortable would Julian Sand be with the other options?
It's a big part of it, for sure, projecting that depth. That's why a lot of people think that Jeremiah Smith may have a better shot at winning the Heisman this year than he did, or coming up, than he did last season with Carnell Tate. And I was banging the drum all year for Carnell Tate. I thought if his name was Jeremiah Smith, he probably would have been up for the Heisman, making some of those circus catches. But, yeah, the other part about this will be interesting because of Julian's backups.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in a spring game, right? Let's see Tavian throw it again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what's going on there. There's no competition, which we thought we had a race going into last season. We may have.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing you already know is that Sayan's the starter again.
I think to your point, though, AR, the competition is the guys behind you.
That's
right? Like who is going to be the next guy up? Who's going to be if something unfortunately does happen to Julian Sayan, Coach Day, hey, I'm going to you. And so Tavian St. Clair, as most of these guys are, big-time recruits, but he's an Ohio guy. Mm-hmm. And so that room is
12 snaps, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. And so that room is full of talent. But that's an important role this year, right? So fortunately, you didn't have to talk about that last year. But you just never know in this sport, man. So you got to stay locked in and ready to go in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, but you can go back to even thinking that if they were inches away from taking control of the Indiana game in the Big Ten Championship, his knee hits the ground early.
Yeah.
Maybe they score on that drive.
Yeah.
Or maybe if they went to a Lincoln Kienholz package there, he'd get the first. I don't know. But you're right. The backup quarterback situation at Ohio State this season had a little more thought process. And then when we saw Julian take over, then we were just talking about whether Lincoln would see the field in any way, shape, or form. But, Martins did not throw a lot with Maryland last year. He did with UCLA. It'll be interesting. I think you got a 5-star recruit in Tavian St. Clair. And Martin coming over from Maryland, so we'll get to see.
Even with Julian, AR, what does the body type look like? You know what I'm saying? Like in those type of things, I'm sure they did, as they want a lot of players to get bigger and stronger in the offseason. Coach Maratti's been here forever, getting guys headed down the right path with the strength and conditioning stuff. But for Julian, I would love to know, like for Coach Day, you hear from coaches, hey, we send guys into the offseason with a plan of kind of what we want them to work on. And what was that for Julian? Was it extending plays more in and outside of the pocket? Coaches are always going to want that. Julian's bread and butter is his accuracy, right, and the arm talent that he has. But I'm sure he's been in the lab this offseason to take his game to a whole nother level. So that'll be interesting to see from him as well, even though, as you alluded to, everybody on defense is going to be well aware you better not get close to 10. Yeah. You better not get close to him. But he's now gone into an offseason with something that he's probably never had to feel before in his career. Failure. Well, failure may be a little strong, but not getting to where he probably wanted to get and where the team wanted to get. For the majority of his football life, he's been the guy and he's been able to do probably what he wants out there on the football field. But Indiana and Miami, those are those teachable moments for a guy that's really never probably felt that.
Yeah, well, you did something there that I think is appropriate. And it's, if you just want to put it in plain as day, it's losses. he experienced losses. And sometimes in Columbus, Ohio, losses equal failure. And so you're not way off base by saying it that way.
The reason I wanted to moonwalk off of that is because he was a Heisman finalist.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
But he's got to grow from 2 tough games.
Absolutely.
When the competition went up, he wasn't the guy that we had seen before. And he did get a little bit of happy feet. And there were some times where he didn't process it the same way. But let's look at what happened. He faced 2 defenses that played for the national title. So it's not like he played the game's ultimate competition and didn't play his best. So to your point, that's experience he needs to lock away because we know because I said it all year, lesser teams had a real problem because if they decided to go after him and they didn't get home, they were toast.
You're cooked.
And if they decided we're just going to drop 8 and see if we can cover for 10 minutes, that wasn't working.
Right.
So when he faced teams that could get home or could cover, that's what happened.
And it's something I think about a lot is guys at this level, guys just the elite of the elite athletes, when that first dose of not succeeding the way you used to, how do you handle that? Like that has to be a harsh pill to swallow, right? Because for probably 80 to 90% of your life, it's been pretty smooth for these guys. And so it can be a good thing for a guy as talented as Julian is to go through some of those trials and tribulations, if you will, and hit the reset button.
Think about this for a second. The 2 biggest, most impactful plays you could say in the last 2 games for him, the pick 6 against Miami that made that game 14-0, and the unfortunate where it looked like he had the first down against Indiana, but his knee hits.
He didn't, yeah.
All right? So you could say that game of inches, and he was involved in both of those big time. And now he's got to grow from that, like you said.
No doubt.
That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. We'll come back, and we'll get into a deep dive. Who should really be the preseason number 1 this year? One analyst says he has the team that should be above them all to start the year. We'll tell you who that is next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Save big on everything when you shop at Menards. We're your destination for electrical products. Keep yourself safe and protected with new GFCI outlets from Legrand. They're available in a variety of finishes. Now at Menards, save big on all Legrand outlets and dimmer switches. View our entire selection of Legrand products today on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and find plenty of great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Did you know that Tansky Sawmill Toyota has a Toyota certified collision center? They only use Toyota factory parts, and the cars are put back together by Toyota trained technicians. Don't trust just anyone to keep your Toyota a Toyota. In the unfortunate case of an accident, bring your Toyota to Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Visit TanskyAutobody.com to schedule an appointment or visit them today. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Think Tansky.
Being diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, or one of over 100 other types of blood cancer makes people want more time to do the things they love. That means more time to be artists, prom dates, world travelers, and moms. We are Blood Cancer United, the world's leading organization focused solely on blood cancer research, support, and advocacy. We do the most for more people with blood cancer, so people with blood cancer can do more of whatever they want. Blood Cancer United. Join us at bloodcancerunited.org.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-691-9999. That's 800-691-9999.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
Wrinkles, gray hair, and hearing loss are common signs of getting older. But being short of breath, having tightness in your chest, coughing, and wheezing are not. If you are experiencing these symptoms, you may be one of the millions of people who are living with a condition called COPD but don't know it. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years of better breathing to your life. For more information, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Isaiah Jacob. In the NFL, the Cleveland Browns are expected to hire former Baltimore Ravens run game coordinator Travis Switzer as their next offensive coordinator. Switzer is one of a handful of Ravens assistants joining new head coach Todd Monken in Cleveland, including offensive line coach George Warhop. Tonight, the Jackets take on the Chicago Blackhawks at 8:30. The CBJ have won 7 of their last 8. Pre-game coverage begins right here on The Fan at 7:30. The Cavs in action tonight out in Phoenix, taking on the Suns at 9 p.m. Cleveland will be without Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Max Strus. And for the Suns, no Devin Booker. Tomorrow, Ohio State Hoops travel to Wisconsin to play at 2 p.m. The Badgers have been hot, winning 6 of their last 7. Buckeyes look to make it 2 in a row. We have pregame coverage beginning right here on The Fan at 1 p.m. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for A Deeper Dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Final hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. We'll have Jake Burns on, bottom of the hour, 2:30. Browns film breakdown, get his opinion on what Todd Monken's going to bring to the table here. And his brand new OC, Travis Don't Call Me Barry Switzer. We'll have him at 2:30. Quick shout out to Novak Djokovic for upsetting Jannik Sinner in the Aussie semis. He'll face Alcaraz in the final.
That's interesting you phrase it that way, because that's what I was going to ask you. Based off of who Joker is, that is considered an upset.
Yeah, it is.
Just because of the age and where he is, because he's one of the GOATs.
Who?
Joker.
Probably D.
Yeah.
I'd say that kind of low because I don't like to say
I'll
it.
put it in perspective. Novak Djokovic to win that match was plus 860.
Was he really?
Yeah. So
wow. Okay.
Manny, so Sinner, multi Grand Slam winner himself.
Right.
Defending champ of the Aussie. and considered, I assume is he one now in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I actually I think it's Alcaraz, but they flip-flop depending on who won the last one.
So we need Alcaraz, right?
We need Alcaraz for the French.
No, not this one.
For the French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys know I'm not a tennis guy, so I don't know what's going on.
So I've always kind of pushed back on it because I'm not a huge Joker fan, just because I don't align with his personality. But I would say on the court, I just don't like the antics. Just the antics. That's just not me. That's all.
What does he do? Like
he's just always yelling back at the fans, and a lot of the ear thing, a lot of the
he'd probably be my guy.
The tough
a lot
thing
of the
with
look
tennis,
at me guy. Yeah,
it's not like other sports where you have like a favorite team. Like it's kind of an issue, well, no, not an issue, but it's kind of for the players. It's this dilemma of like all of the fans are on your side one point, and then like just when you think you have them, they're on the side of the other player. Like, and so everyone's just got like rooting for a good competition, and so like you think the fans are all on your side, and then you hear them cheering really loudly for the opponent. And, like some people take that personally.
I don't know if that always happens because usually you go in with a preconceived favorite that you want to win.
Yeah.
And so they're like he's saying, maybe there's a smaller percentage of the people that just want to see a good match or go the distance. You don't want to see anybody get, dusted off in straight sets. Right. So maybe you start rooting for the other guy to get back in the match. Mm-hmm. But with him, he's a very polarizing guy. But I'll say this. I don't know if there's anybody. I mean, there have been mentally tough guys at the top of this sport. And he is by far, for me, the toughest guy to slay. Like, I can't imagine. Sinner just can't win the big points against him. You can't win 80% of your first serves and not win that match. And the other part is he could not win the big points. And what I mean by big points are the break points, the ones that matter.
Yeah.
And you can't go 3 for 18 on break points. Like Sinner should have won the match. The reason he didn't, he couldn't win the big points. And Djokovic was better in bigger moments. And it was a great match. And Joker's got 25 on his mind right now because that would be sick if he could take down Sinner and Alcaraz. And so if he wins 25 majors, I mean, no one's catching him anyway. But this would be number 25.
Wow.
And it's crazy to think about that at 38, he could beat a guy that's 14 years younger, and not just the youth. One of the top, if not the top player in the world. Mm-hmm. So that's the difference. Because a lot of these guys, age does matter tremendously. But then you add the talent that Sinner has and being the defending champ and the fact that he broke him late. And then Sinner had triple break point on him in the 5th to try to get back on serve. And Djokovic won the game. Like, it's on the mental toughness, this guy, I just don't get it.
That experience, he doesn't fold, huh?
The reason that is shocking, too, is because last year was the first time that Djokovic really started to admit that, like, he's not on their level. Because for so long, because basically Alcaraz and Sinner have won all the slams for the past 2 years. And so it has actually been a while since Novak has won one.
Right.
But and for the longest time, he was like, I'm still here. I'm still showing the young guys, like, yeah, Roger Federer's retired. Yeah, Rafa Nadal's retired. But, I don't feel like I'm out of place just because it's me and a bunch of young guys. Like, I'm still trying to show them what's up.
Okay.
At the end of last year is when the first time that he said, because these slams are 2-week tournaments. And so he said, playing those guys in a best of 5 at the end of a 2-week tournament, I'm not sure how well I can fare anymore at this age. So it's not that like he can't play with them on a one-off. He's like at the end of 2 weeks in a 4-hour match against those two guys, they might have me at this point. So like he actually was starting to admit, even though he was denying forever. And the mindset of an athlete, like you got to be irrational in terms of what you're capable of. He looked like he was actually starting to crack at the end of last year in terms of where he stands versus those guys. But now he just flipped the script because he just beat Sinner. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome.
There's a fine line between being tested and rested. He was not tested going into this, but he certainly was rested. And I think that played a big part of him being able to go 5 and beat Sinner today in 5. The thing about Alcaraz will be, Alcaraz got him last year at the U.S. Open in the semis.
They're meeting up next?
Yes, in the final.
Oh, so we're already there. The final is when?
Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's when we were talking about whether you'd stay up for it. And then Joker got him in the quarters last year at the Aussie. So Joker still has a better head-to-head record against Alcaraz. Now, Alcaraz is a young kid. What is he, 22? But this is going to be one of those wild matches. The fact that Joker, I would not put Joker in the pressure cooker. I was thinking about doing it earlier. Now that you've gotten to a final, like how many more Grand Slam finals will he get to? And now he's in this one. Will he feel pressure because he's got that 25 on his mind? But it's house money now.
Let me ask you this. Joker, you're making a case that he could be the best to ever do it. Maybe getting 25 titles. Is he a walk-in Kroger recognizable guy for the common sports fan?
Hard to know.
That's a great question.
Hard to know. We've always played that.
Great question.
Like, he's one of the best, if not the best, at what he does.
Yeah.
I say it's a small percentage.
That would break neck and be like, I know who that is.
Somebody will.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
And then word will spread, and then you'll have a bunch of people, oh, Novak Djokovic, as if they knew, but they didn't know.
Yeah, that one's tough. I'm trying to think of...
He passed the Kroger test.
I'm trying to think of anybody that would really pass it tennis-wise, legend-wise. Federer...
Serena would, I think.
Oh, no. I think a lot of people would recognize
Serena.
her.
I think Serena
Coco.
being so commercial. I don't think... No, Coco, no.
Yet.
No.
Really?
No,
not yet.
No.
Serena's
Actually,
for
you know
sure.
What? Here's a fun one. If Venus walked into a Kroger, how many people would know? How many people would know it's her, and how many people would think it's Serena? If it were Venus.
No, they're completely different.
The body types are different.
I agree with
we're
Maddie.
talking about casual people. Everyday people who...
they might be mistaken. I get the name wrong. They might get that.
God, we're talking about just people in Kroger, not like the biggest sports fans ever who follow this stuff.
But Serena walks through Kroger. It's a high percentage of people that know who that is.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, the brush fire you're talking about would start amongst the store, but I'm just trying to think of like Novak versus Rafa versus Federer, the big three for a while.
I think Federer would get recognized by a lot of people.
He might be a little more commercial in a way.
I don't know if I would recognize him.
Roger Federer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I don't know if I would automatically, like, you know how I do at Radio Row, usually how I'm pretty, like, on it down there with everybody. I would look at him, and I think it would take me a second to get there.
Listen, you're talking to a guy that could easily pick out Lil Wayne versus Flavor Flav. Like, that's going to happen.
Flavor Flav.
Anyway, it was an excellent match, and I give him a lot of credit because he's that guy. He is. He's just his mental toughness. He will not allow himself to get buried.
I mean, anybody that does anything at the highest level, once you get past 35 years old and you're still competing for a championship or championships, like, you get a bunch of respect from me because just the miles that you put on your body, and especially in a sport like tennis, right, where you're running back and forth on all these different surfaces, and just as you guys are laying out, it's a 2-week tournament and all that stuff. Like, that's big time respect for me. So, like, Joker, LeBron, Brady, these guys in all these different sports that are still cooking at a pretty high level, it's just unbelievable how they're still able to do it when they start their careers at 22, 23 years old or whatever it is. Wow.
Here's a funny tweet that I had seen leading into this, because, again, like, this is so, like, it had just become like clockwork the past couple of years for it to be Sinner or Alcaraz. So Djokovic winning is actually pretty shocking.
Yeah.
And so the tweet had the odds with Djokovic being plus 860, Sinner being minus 1600 for this match. And the tweet was, do you know how crazy it is that Djokovic is plus 860 to win a match? For context, if you bet $100 on Novak winning, you'd get 0.
Wow. AR?
What do you mean you'd get 0?
Implying that he's just going to lose and then it's a waste of money.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say.
Not actual math.
Meaning you're throwing your money and you're lighting a match.
Yeah,
and just,
correct.
okay, I get what you're saying.
Correct.
See, I didn't look at it that way. Well, those odds are actually more than
Let
I
me
thought.
ask you, if you knew that it was plus 860 prior to, easy to say now.
No, but that's incredible value on a guy who's healthy, who's rested.
So are you asking AR, would he have sprinkled something on that?
I didn't know he was that high. I really didn't. Now, I would have bet Sinner to win the match, but at that value, I don't know how you can ignore it. Guy's won 10 Aussies. Like, I wouldn't have plus 860. That seems almost insane to think about. But he's won on every surface. A lot of these guys have. You know, Fed only won one time on clay, and my boy Sampras never won the French.
Oh, Petey?
And Borg never won the U.S. Open, one my all-time favorite. So the fact that this guy's been able to go all the different surfaces, all the Wimbies, the U.S. Open, the hard courts, like, it's incredible. But he just doesn't have a weakness. And I know that sounds weird to say because most of these guys don't. But I don't know. His tiebreaker is that you cannot put him away. It's just anytime you think you have him, you don't.
It's
crazy.
Like a hitter in the box. You get him to 2 strikes, and he just won't strike out.
Yep.
A hitter in the box.
Yep, that's right.
Where are we at?
All right, we're going to have to take a break.
Steak in the box.
Yeah, that's right. We have to come back and take a break. And I want to play that sound with that analyst on who he thinks should be number 1 in college football this year, because it's not a team that's being tossed out a lot. You'll hear it next. Rothman Ice on the Fan.
Are you working? Because we barely are. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football and quiet quitting. The Fan.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can save $20 on your first pickup or delivery order with your digital coupon. See site for details. Restrictions apply. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's Timmy Hall and AI Common Man. Happy to ring in another year with our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Mikey, do you want to be a millionaire? Hollywood is the place to do it.
From now until March 25th, you have the chance to win $1 million instantly. And here's something Mikey likey. All new brunch items at the Sportsbook Restaurant and Bar, like Biscoff stuffed French toast, country Benedict, or roast beef hash skillet. Yummy.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Chronic pain can make life feel impossible, but at QC Kinetics, there's a breakthrough that's giving people real hope. Stem wave therapy.
It has fundamentally changed the way I look at cases after 30 years in practice. So when we talk about regenerative medicine, we're talking about these types of devices.
That's Dr. Tony DeCesaro, one of the nation's authorities on stem wave therapy.
Been around for about 30 years in Europe. Now it's really taken a real foothold. People are tired of just using pills that really cover everything up, and they don't really heal.
This device is both diagnostic and therapeutic, helping the medical team at QC Kinetics find the problem and trigger your body's natural healing response.
It's about giving hope, right? That there are options.
QC Kinetics. Harness the power of stem wave and get relief now. Your first treatment is only $49. Call for your consultation here in Columbus. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics. 380-208-4544.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Don't start the new year with the same old ride. Right now, score low lease payments on all 2026 models, like $149 a month for a brand new Elantra or $159 for a new Sonata. Hurry in and kick off the new year right. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit, $39.95 down plus tax, title, and fees. 2-year lease with 10K miles per year. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Ends 2-2.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
It's time for Super Bowl 60. And since we're the official radio home of the Super Bowl, we can say Super Bowl and not big game. So we're going to say Super Bowl a lot. Seahawks and Patriots in the Super Bowl, Sunday, February 8th, here on The Fan.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine here for your Friday as temperatures only warm up into the teens here for this afternoon. Winds will be out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we head into the weekend, we are still tracking the very cold temperatures with highs only in the teens to near 20 here for Saturday and Sunday. However, we are looking ahead to a nice little warm up here as we get into next week. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, a little Bet365 time.
Let's get into it, AR, because at Bet365, they got great deals waiting for new customers and regular customers as well. For regular customers, make sure you're locking in on Daily Boost and Super Boost. If you are a new customer, focus in on the great deal that I'm about to tell you about, which is you can bet $5. After that, you're getting $200 in bonus bets, folks. Win or lose. So go ahead and take that $200, turn it into something bigger and better when you bet on total spreads, money lines, or player props. I'm looking at the Cavs matchup tonight. They're out there in the desert taking on the Phoenix Suns. One of the bet boosts that I'm interested in right now, no slow starts. It's Donovan Spida-Mitchell, 5+ points in the first quarter. Dylan Brooks, 5+ points in the first quarter. And Grayson Allen, 5+ points in the first quarter as well. Plus 325 is the juice on that one. So I'm locking into the no slow starts bet boost over at Bet365 right now for the Cavs Phoenix Suns matchup tonight.
Those are fun. And I know TLC likes to keep receipts, so put me up on the big board for the Porter Jr. last night, over 25.5. I think he had 20 at half. He had 38 for the game.
He's been going crazy.
So that was a lock. People have asked me online, why can't they bet on Ohio State basketball to make or miss the tournament? And I said, well, usually that happens around this time of year where they start putting out the prop of making the field of 68. Mm-hmm. And unbelievably, I just looked now, and it's there now.
Okay, get on in it.
So you can bet Ohio State to make the tournament, and I'm going to make you guys guess what the... I'll tell you what, maybe we'll do it percentage-wise. That'll be easier, just for everyone to get involved. So what do you think the percentage is that Ohio State will make the tournament when it comes to implied betting?
I'm going to say 40%?
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
I am going to say 56%.
All right. Right now, Ohio State to make the field of 68 is minus 165, which would imply to 60+%.
Okay.
That they'll make it.
Okay.
So they're a big favorite if you want to bet them to make it. Now, if you are a pessimist and you feel like they're not going to make it, you can get plus 130 on your money. I don't know where the smart money is. I guess the smart money would be if you want to lean into your heart and you want them to make it, you bet them to make it and you pair it with something that's a little more favorable, and then you try to bring that thing back to close to even money as you can.
Yeah, that makes sense. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
So it's nice to look ahead and see what we are looking at for preseason college football this year. Talked about the Longhorns a little bit. Buckeyes going there in week 2. They've loaded up now. So now they're giving Arch even more offensive weapons. They've got returning receivers. They got the transfer from Auburn.
Coleman, yeah, he's nice.
Yep. Cam Coleman. The running back room is now remade. They've got some dudes and a pretty solid core on the offensive line as well. So he's going to have what he needs. Ohio State, we know they're going to be right up there. They'll probably be, they'll be 3 at worst, right? Would you say 3 at worst?
Yeah, no. I mean, that feels appropriate. It'll be some combination to me of Indiana, Texas, Ohio State, Oregon. I think will get some run.
Indiana
some people
won't be. Wait, our bet is
somewhere in the top 5. Indiana, I think they'll be.
Was
there.
that our bet?
I don't know.
I think it was. I said they wouldn't be.
I think they will be.
Okay.
I think they'll be top 5.
Georgia will be up there. There's another team, and we'll let him say it, that Greg McElroy was talking about. And I'm not saying that they're an absolute out-of-sight team. I just haven't heard them being talked about in the number 1 preseason.
Okay.
Here it is.
Why is 2026 going to be different? Well, it's because it feels like for the first time in eternity, Notre Dame isn't starting a new quarterback. I mean, we've seen the Sam Hartmans, we've seen the Riley Leonards, we've seen talented guys, but in many ways they're kind of mercenaries, 1-year rentals. Well, CJ Carr is the program. It's right now, Carr is currently a Heisman co-favorite next year for a reason. He's not just managing this offense, he's going to be weaponizing it for sure. You're no longer kind of a possession passing attack. You are a vertical nightmare. This is probably the fastest wide receiver core that we've seen in South Bend in quite a while. They have riches at the running back spot that you wouldn't believe. I think they're going to be just fine, but there is star power that will need to be replaced. So this year's group might be a little bit more of a blue-collar committee. A lot of people have them in the top 3 in their early projections. I'm going to tell you right now, I think I'm going to go into the season having them at number 1.
Okay.
He's a good quarterback. It's the second season.
Yeah, man. He can go. If you caught a game last year, you saw the vision of what he can be down the road. And I know a lot of Buckeye fans are going to be very curious.
Graham.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very curious to see what that looks like.
Too bad they don't play.
Yeah, I mean, you may get in the playoff. Who knows? But to your point, seeing that in the regular season for sure would have been fun. Their reasoning, was it Heartline? Was it money? What had to be one of those two, because it couldn't have been the quarterback. Right?
That's right.
Because you're leaving a Heisman finalist here. And so, but I know for sure when it comes to Notre Dame, CJ Carr is going to get a lot of the focus as he should be, because he looks to be an absolute dude. But down here in our neck of the woods, what type of returns do they get on the now former Buckeyes and Quincy Porter and Milan Graham is going to be interesting to see.
All these teams you could choose based on the quarterback returning outside of Indiana. Texas returns their guy. Ohio State returns their guy. Georgia returns their guy. Notre Dame returns their guy. Who else?
We don't know what is Lane doing at LSU.
The Lane train?
Has he stamped his guy yet?
He added Sam Levitt. He added him, right?
Okay, so that's official now that it is Levitt. So Levitt leaves Arizona State. Okay, he is official now. Okay. It's good. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good player as well. It's a fun offense. But, yeah, to your point, there's always that good feeling of when you can just start the next year with a guy that's had the time on task that the guys that you mentioned have already. There's the security there. And so all of those parties involved are going to feel good about that. And all of those teams that you mentioned are going to have good talent for those quarterbacks. And you saw last year with Arch Manning, right? Like, you see the talent, but there's the fine-tuning of his game that's got to be rounded into form, and I just won't be surprised for him and the other guys if it's just a much better product this year.
You know, we were so busy doing Ohio State's schedule that what popped out to me for Matt Campbell and Penn State are 3 things. He's missing Oregon, he's missing Ohio State, and he's missing Indiana.
That'll work.
In his first year.
That'll work. And he's coming in with his guy, Rocco Becht, who's played a lot of football for him.
Becht?
Yeah, Rocco Becht for him over there at Iowa State. So you will take that. Do they get USC? Do they
let me look. That I did not look at.
But that's a good point that you bring up.
That's amazing to start like that.
Yeah, right. To have that. And so he's a rock solid coach. I don't know how high the ceiling will be, but that's what we've always wanted to see with Matt Campbell's. Can he leave a place like Iowa State, get to a big branded program, and cook at a pretty high level?
At USC week 4.
Okay.
Yep.
Gives him some time to his guys.
Oh, wait, no. Hang on. My bad. That's wrong. Check that. Scratch it. Reverse it. That's not it.
Flip it in reverse it like Missy Elliott. Okay.
Let me, I want to double check my work here.
There's a record scratch.
It is not working. Wow. We had that handy. They do play USC, but it's at home. My bad.
Okay. At home.
Yep.
Since we were talking about Notre Dame and you mentioned their schedule, I mean, you got to like this, TLC.
I do.
You got to like this. I mean, the one game that's jumping out to me is home against Miami. Other than that, I mean, the trip out to BYU won't be easy. That's always a grind of a game. But, I mean, their schedule, AR, starting the year in Wisconsin.
That's got to be neutral
site game. Yeah, that's Lambeau.
Lambeau. That's a makeup for COVID.
But then it's Rice and Michigan State and at Purdue and North Carolina, Stanford. Like Navy's that can always get a little strange.
Fighting Belichick's, huh?
If not now, then when?
This schedule, this is good.
Well,
for
and your top 12 protected.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know how we got that, but I'm cool with it.
Here's the thing that would be interesting. When you don't have a great schedule, it works for and against you.
It can.
Don't have a clunker.
Correct.
Because you don't have the ammunition then, but you should have enough if you only lose one.
That's a great point,
to be in the top 12.
For the folks that don't know what you were referencing with the top 12 thing for Notre Dame, just, want to lay that out for the folks that it's as simple as they're ranked in the top 12, they're in. Yep. Doesn't matter what happens around.
It's a weird deal that they're guaranteed a spot in the top 12 if they finish ranked in the top 12 of the final rankings. Yep. So it was an agreement.
They're protecting our independence.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for it.
With that big old grin over there as he said that. That's unbelievable how they got that deal. It's crazy.
Well, look, man, I like that it's only one. If there were like 13 schools that were independent, I would say, why don't you guys just be a conference together? But I like that there's only one.
Of course you do. That's your team.
I wish all of the other conferences were the way that they were when I was a kid. I wish we saw the Big East. I wish the SEC would donate half of their schools back to the Big 12.
Oh, man, that's mega conferences, man. That's where we're at now.
It is weird. I was just looking up a quote from them, from their AD. Like, people have asked me, how come Notre Dame gets that benefit? And he's like, well, we still have to prove it on the field more than anybody. We still have to put ourselves in that area, that zip code of a top 12 team. But we want to protect ourselves against what happened this year.
I guess, man.
Wonderful. All right, we're going to come back with our guy, Jake Burns, and we'll get the Travis Switzer effect, see what he thinks about this offense going into this year. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Baths R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Baths R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Maddie ranked the most dynamic duo of all time, Caesar Salad and Moscow Mule. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at a lot of stuff going up in Cleveland, and man, it's drama after drama. Is Jim Schwartz sticking around? Is he gone? They make the hire. It hasn't really moved the needle, but who knows? Maybe it will eventually. Our friend Jake Burns is on with us, and he is the Browns Film Breakdown. Jake, good to have you back.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. All right, let's get right to it. The Monken hire, how did that hit you?
I would say a bit of a surprise just because I think that there was a consensus they were going to go with one of the younger names. So when you kind of consider that Todd hasn't had a chance in the NFL to be a head coach yet, it's sort of like, sometimes these guys who have been around the football world as coordinators for a long time, and they just haven't had that opportunity, especially as they approach 60 years old, kind of the way he is. You just don't think it's going to happen for him, so you don't really take him that serious. And I think that was a mistake along the whole way. It felt like they were pretty enamored with him from a flexibility on offense standpoint, and they really wanted to kind of reshape and put together a process in the offense side of the football that was more meaningful than what they felt like they've been doing. So when they felt, I think to me, like the younger guys were not necessarily the answer, or they didn't sort of deem them as ready yet to take on the head coaching job, which, there's multiple levels in which that could be true, right? The ability to build a staff, the ability to, prove that neither of them had truly called plays or developed their own offense yet. You can see why there'd be some pretty important concerns there. And then when you look at maybe they didn't get a chance to interview some of the guys, maybe they wanted to or requested, then you can see where they get to the point they're like, well, Monken is the best of the options we have to build an offense. And sometimes, these guys who get a late start and they get a head coaching opportunity, they're ready for it for many levels. And that's, I think, the belief here is you try to spin it a little more positively, not necessarily the most attractive hire that you could have seen in the cycle, but, sometimes the attractive hires don't work out and you get the guys who just kind of right for the job. So I think that's the feeling here is that if he can develop the offense and like you mentioned, with Jim Schwartz, we'll see what they do defensively. But if they can raise the level I kind of would say the basement of the offense, and pair it with that defensive talent, then you can start to see maybe a more consistent product than what they put out there the last 2 years.
Let me ask you this. If you knew that Jim Schwartz would react this way, would you have said, we got to keep him, we got to make him the head coach? Like if you think hypothetically you're going to lose him, rethinking that, did you think he deserved to be the head coach?
I think it's a delicate thing to answer. I think you'll find a lot of people who think yes, and I think you'll find a lot of people that look at the trend lines of where the NFL is going and would say no. Like there's just not a lot of guys who are retread head coaches on the defensive side of the football. And fair or unfair, like you look at the Steve Spagnuolos or the Wade Phillips of the past decade, like those guys just aren't the direction the game is going with like a more strong yearning and stronger desire to have consistency on the offensive side of the football. So I think if you look at it from the perspective of like we're trying to find something consistent, hard for those defensive coaches to get those opportunities. I tread carefully on his reaction to that news. It kind of felt like to me they were stringing him along and almost making him believe he was going to be the guy. I think he's self-aware enough to know where most of the trends are with guys his age running a defense, getting another opportunity. Like, again, guys like Steve Spagnuolo have been doing this pretty successfully with the Chiefs. He even hasn't had an opportunity. So it's just like, I feel like the inner workings of this hiring cycle and the way the Browns handled it, I think he was probably winked or told this was his job. And then when they kind of pulled that carpet out from underneath him, it becomes pretty difficult for him to handle. He probably felt like he was misled. And all of a sudden you have that type of blow up that happens in the office there where he's packing all the stuff and he's leaving. So, listen, do I think he was the right guy? I personally do not. I certainly think that of the choices that they had at the end of the finish line, I understand why they would prefer Todd given that scenario. But for me, I think it's probably the most intelligent thing for them to do is to bring Monken in, and then you kind of react to how Schwartz is going to react. And then you figure out, well, okay, we're gonna have to pivot on the defensive side. And if you look at both sides, I think pivoting around trying to maybe go a new direction on defense based on the talent that's there, not the worst thing in the world.
Knowing what you know about Todd Monken as an offensive mind and looking at the quarterbacks that are available right now on the roster, of the three guys that are available as we sit here today, is there a quarterback or are there a couple quarterbacks with their skill set that you think pairs well with what Todd Monken is going to want to do?
Well, the idea today, and based on some of the stuff we've heard about the questions that those guys were asked, it seems like there's I don't think we can count Shedeur Sanders out. I certainly feel like there's a desire to see if they can get something out of him, improvement in year 2. And I think if you go back and trace a guy, I think he plays Shedeur pretty similarly to Jameis Winston. And I think that they saw maybe some of what Todd did with Jameis early in his career. And obviously we know Jameis turned it over a little bit too much, and that was what led to his eventual issue in not getting his second contract in Tampa. But they want to see if there's more there. Otherwise, he has talked about enjoying the idea of a mobile quarterback. He's lived in that world, more recently. And in Georgia, we remember Stetson Bennett. He could run a little bit. He can move, and they certainly found success with him moving a little bit. But we know he's been with Lamar. So I think, I think any coach would love to have a quarterback who's a +1 in the run game or a threat to scramble and make what that does to defenses. But ultimately, to me, I think it's a situation where guys on the market who can move a little bit. If you want to just look at pure free agency, like Malik Willis is interesting. Obviously, he's lingering out there from the Packers and has put together some good tape. And then if you want a reclamation project in that world, there's 2 guys that come to mind, a bit more proven in Kyler Murray, but it's going to take a trade on the higher end there a little bit. And then obviously Anthony Richardson, who's more of a sort of a reshaping project at that position.
In your opinion, when you look at the offensive line room and you look at the wide receiver room right now, which room needs a bigger upgrade, the offensive line or the wide receivers?
Is the answer just yes, sufficient? It's hard to separate the two, to be honest. I think I'd say the offensive line. I think the offensive line also impacting the run game so heavily it matters more, I think. And I also think they have some decent baseline wide receiver talent. I understand Jerry Jeudy had a bad year last year, but I think that's kind of the culture that was going on in the building at that point. So, I do think you can get more out of Isaiah Bond. I think that obviously they're going to draft wide receivers. They're going to try to reshape that. But the offensive line from left to right, given that we'll see what Joel Antonio does, if he gives it another year or not. But otherwise, like Jack Conklin, DeJuan Jones is hurt. Those 2 guys are hurt way too frequently, so they're going to probably have to wander around another year. But Conklin's going to be gone. I think Wyatt Teller's gone. They know Ethan Posick, their center, dealt with a really serious injury. So I think they're reshaping all 5 up front. So I think you're going to see them pour assets into that from a trade perspective ahead of the free agency or in mid-free agency leading up to the draft. And I think they'll be aggressive in free agency. And then certainly we'll be looking to take some guys in the important picks, pick 6 and 24, and then obviously their first pick in the second round. I would not be surprised to see them bring in 7 or so new offensive linemen this year to try to just kind of recreate a new culture. They hired Travis Switzer, the offensive coordinator. He's more of a run game coordinator. So I think they were like, hey, man, we really have to reshape this ground game to have any chance with this unit.
All right, this requires a quick answer. Will a quarterback on the roster right now start the first game next year?
I think I lean yes, just because of all of the things that they have to replace around the quarterback this year. So I will say yes, but I don't feel great about it. I don't feel that confident, but I just think that, like you mentioned, with all the offensive linemen and wide receiver structural changes they need, I could see them just kind of writing that out another year, but also bringing in maybe one more fresh face for competition. But I think it is probably, you just got to probably think it's Shedeur until it's not.
Based on their meeting today, it was like it was a long-lost relationship that came together, that they finally realized the dream of being together on the same team. So we'll see. Jake, great job as always, man. We'll be hitting you back soon. Appreciate you.
Hey, anytime, guys. It's my pleasure.
Thanks. That is Jake Burns. He is Brown's Film Breakdown on the old X, and he was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman Ice and the Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Tri-State Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Tri-State Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville.
Hey, it's Anthony. So I was recently asked how I've been doing in my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. And I paused and I said, you know what? Pretty darn good. Because it reminded me what I was dealing with a couple years ago. My personal journey. I had plantar fasciitis, that horrible heel pain. If I was on my feet for a while, my lower back would be on fire. And now, honestly, none of that. 0 issues with my feet since I started wearing them. I have my Good Feet arch supports in every day. I feel supported. I feel aligned. And now that I feel better, it's made all the difference. I want to work out more. I want to go out more. Just be more active. I'm telling you, over the last couple of years, my health, my energy, my quality of life has all been affected in a really positive way. They've really helped me keep the pain away. The guys ask me all the time, do I really have them in today? Yes, I do, and I'll take my shoes off upon request to show you. Go take the free test walk. The Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road in Grove City. Get started at goodfeet.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Columbus, are you hungry? Well, it's a good thing Uber Eats has the best deals at all your favorite local restaurants. Like this great deal at El Vaquero. From now until March 31st, you can get a buy one, get one free quesadilla deal, all on the Uber Eats app. That's good for me, but I need to figure out what everybody else is going to eat. So next time you're craving a great meal, don't overthink it. Just get on the Uber Eats app and save big with a great deal. Order now only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details.
Thanks to your support, the nonprofits VetTix and First Tix have given away tens of millions of tickets and counting to vets currently serving military, the immediate family of troops killed in action, and our brave current and former first responders. These tickets are a meaningful way to say thank you to America's heroes. And now we want you to be part of the mission. Got extra tickets to concerts, games, or special events? Or want to see if you qualify? We want you to go to vettix.org and firsttix.org today. Give something to those who gave.
Jake Diebler's Buckeyes hit the road for a Big Ten battle with Wisconsin.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday at 1.
Every game, every season. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them. Safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together. All of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All righty, TLC, take us home.
All righty. How about this? I asked you guys this in a commercial break yesterday and then never got around to it on the air. What is a song that makes you lose track of how fast you're driving?
All righty. I got an answer for you.
All righty.
I'm going to go Dreams and Nightmares, Meek Mill. When that comes on,
wait a minute.
Yeah, it's just something about spitting those bars, the energy of that song era where I just kind of lose where I'm at. So I'm going to go Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill.
Mentally, you're running out of the tunnel for the Super Bowl like the Eagles?
Yeah. Have you told him Or have we told him the 49ers Ravens coming out of the tunnel story for that season?
So
Liverpool?
This was a rematch. No, this was a rematch of the Super Bowl from a game that was played earlier in the year. Ravens 49ers, I believe.
Yeah.
Right, Maddie? That was a rematch game. Was it not? I think they played in the regular season.
Yes.
And so I picked the Ravens to win that Super Bowl with Flacco. And I came in on Monday. They won. And I told Maddie, that was I think the game in the Superdome where the lights went out.
Yep.
Okay.
They tried to cheat us.
And so I came in on Monday and said, in classic form, I was about to switch my pick for one reason and one reason only. And he goes, why? It was right before the game. I got just a horrible feel. And it was because the 49ers came out to California Love. And it just changed the mindset of the game for me. Now, I didn't change, but I think Maddie's Ravens came out to, obviously, a group I like.
You too.
I think they came out to you too.
Yeah.
I think it was Beautiful Day. I'm not even positive.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But they
Really?
said
But they came out first, I think.
Oh, my.
And then when the Niners came out with the boombox and California Love, I'm like, the Ravens are losing this game.
It was a tone setter for sure. I was a little shook. But that game was absolutely wild. Flacco, I mean, he was unbelievable
That was great.
down in the playoffs. And then we had the Unks holding it down. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed still holding on. Remember the whole Ray Lewis deer antler spray saga that was going on going in to that game? And so, there was a lot going on. But the Harbaugh Bowl, it was fun, man. Obviously.
Yeah, and then just, not that long after that, another big story came out of that where he's the Super Bowl MVP, and then he gets traded to Denver.
Correct.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Flacco got traded to Denver in 2019.
It's a pretty big story,
Like, that's a
TLC.
Super Bowl MVP. And
it's worth talking about on a sports radio station,
Yeah, it was a fairly big story at the time.
Worth talking about.
Because that meant that Baltimore was officially committing to Lamar Jackson as their quarterback.
I am so stupid. My bad.
Wait, that can't be right, AR. Because we drafted Lamar in 2018. Stupid sandwich?
That's me.
I don't
It
think
just meant that you were officially making
But we
the transfer.
didn't have Lamar on the roster after we won that Super Bowl, though, right? Because that Super Bowl was back in 2014-ish. Because Flacco got a bag after that.
No, I'm talking about when Flacco got traded to Denver. It meant that.
Oh, I thought you were saying after that Super Bowl.
No,
Okay,
no.
I got you. Yeah. It was time.
Yeah.
Once they drafted him first overall in the
Somewhere
first
in the
round,
neighborhood of.
it was time.
Well, remember all the
Yeah, that would
quarterbacks
check
that
out.
we were talking about then. Tannehill, Tyrod Taylor, Blake Bortles.
Paxton Lynch may have been brought up.
What is Blake?
Like they're all
Bortles
going to
up
be
to?
on different teams.
Blake Bortles got the Jaguars to an AFC title game, didn't he? In New England? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yep.
Because that's when Jalen Ramsey said
Jacksonville.
we going up there to win it.
That was a third overall pick.
February
Mr.
13th, 2019. The
UCF?
Ravens agreed to trade Flacco to the Denver Broncos.
Yes, Central Florida.
UCF,
That's
Blake
right.
Bortles? Okay. Yeah, what a time.
There you go.
Glorious time.
We're blessed to be 1-6 in the league.
I am on the wrong tab. Here we go. First of all, shout out to Steel Chambers who followed us on the show on our Twitter page.
Okay.
If you could be a guest on any talk show or podcast all time, so if you want Johnny Carson, you can do that too. Who would it be?
I'd like to lock in with Oprah.
Old school?
Yeah, I like
You
to
just hop over the couch.
Yeah, like Tom Cruise
style.
Yeah, I think Oprah would do it, AR. Because I just remember watching that. My grandma used to watch it all the time and all that when I was younger. But yeah, Oprah is obviously a legend. So sitting opposite her and having her pick my brain, even though there's really not a lot going on, it'd be enjoyable. Give me the Oprah show.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go down into the deep caverns. I would say being a guest on. Well, I wouldn't want to be on I wouldn't want to be on the Jerry Springer show.
Wasn't Tiger on there?
Because if I was on the Jerry Springer show,
Something's crazy going on in your
something
life.
would not be good. And
How
I wouldn't
about
want to be a
Maury
guest
Povich?
of Maury.
You the daddy.
You read my mind.
You the daddy.
Yes, you already have the answers to the test.
How about Judge Mathis?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be on
Or
any
Hot
of
Bench.
those.
Judge Judy. You don't want to go to any of those. So you're saying talk shows only, not game shows?
We'll do game shows in a second because that's next.
Oh, okay. But a talk show, AR. Where you want to go?
I think Letterman would be just right in my wheelhouse, yeah.
With Paul Schaefer interrupting him every single thing. All right, well, let's do game shows then. What game show or reality show? Those can kind of blend.
Ooh, reality.
I'll tell you one that I wouldn't want to go on. I wouldn't want to go on Family Feud, I don't think.
Why?
They make the families that show up on that show look so corny. It gets kind of cheesy.
Well, there's auditions, and they audition the families, and it goes through a whole process of being maybe selected to be a family, and they want them to be a little nutty and fun, and they want to see how they interact together. This isn't just you mail in an application and they say, okay, the Bartimuses are coming on the show.
You got to work for it a little bit.
Yeah, I just think they want to see. Yeah, there is an audition process.
I got you.
I think I'd want it. This is the classic. Maddie knows how much I overanalyze stuff and how much it just. I'd be in my own head. If you put me on Deal or No Deal when it was in its heyday,
God, AR,
about whether you take the money or go for the briefcase, I'd be distracted by the models. I really wouldn't know what was going on.
How many times would the words mental hedge be brought up on that show?
A ton.
Howie, I'm in a mental hedge.
We're going to offer you $200,000 or
take the
you
bag.
got to open up another three briefcases.
I'd be yelling at you through the TV, take the bag.
I think Ice should go on that show so he and Howie could be germaphobes together and just fist bump everybody and refuse to shake hands.
I just think that would be the ultimate.
Okay. Deal or no deal?
Oh, that'd be rough.
Okay. Yeah. Anxiety would be pretty high on that one.
Yeah, it would be.
The obvious one for me is Big Brother, as you know. There is something, though, for me about how I would want to push myself and go on a show like The Challenge on MTV. Like, I've always enjoyed that show. I think I would really fall short, AR, with the crazy stuff that they make them eat. Like, kind of got that X Factor vibe. Like, that, to me, is where...
Fear Factor?
Yeah, Fear Factor.
Rough.
Thank you. Not X Factor, but yeah, Fear Factor.
Going up there singing?
No, I'm not built for that either. But the physical and mental testing of The Challenge, I think I would want to push myself to see what I could do there. So I'll go The Challenge on MTV or Big Brother.
All right, let's end on that.
Okay.
Because I want to take the last minute to wish Maddie an incredibly great happy birthday weekend.
Thank you, man.
Because it's going to land on Sunday, and we didn't get it today, and we're not going to get it Monday, but we could still celebrate it on Monday. But hopefully you have it's kind of a cool thing. You'll be able to.
Thank you, man.
You'll be able to ramp up into your birthday.
This is the Ball State
birthday.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
What are you be doing for your birthday?
Big plans?
Dude on dude stuff, man.
Okay,
that's crazy.
Inappropriate.
That is crazy. No, man, it'll be a good weekend. So I appreciate that. Much love to you and TLC and everybody that's wished me a happy birthday,
Will
man.
you eat a meal that you necessarily would have?
Stupid sandwich?
Are you going to cheat on any structure?
I can't see myself doing
Not
it.
even on a birthday.
I can't see myself doing it.
You just can't reward yourself.
And that's sad, man. It is sad.
Man.
I
So
need
be
to.
a wild birthday?
I need to. So hop on that thing. Don't mess around.
If you were going to cheat, if you were, and I'm not saying you are,
right?
What would be the one thing you'd
One
want to
thing
see
that I haven't had in a long time is just a fresh pizza.
Okay.
Just a fresh pizza with some Parmesan cheese and some ranch on the side. That's what I need. I appreciate the love.
Yeah. Have a great birthday, my man.
Appreciate you.
And everybody be safe out there, and we will talk to you on Monday. It'll be officially Super Bowl week. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday morning